ハルさん、始めます。
OK。
今、わOK。
わわわわわ。わわわわわわわわわわ。わわわわわわ。
Okay, my name's Enzo. I'm a Katamari runner from Australia, and I'm going to be commentating for Harutomo, which is who is a Japanese Katamari runner as well. They play a lot of other games, but Katamari is sort of their specialty. They're also the world record holder in this game. They don't speak a lot of English, so I'll be mainly commentating for them. All right. I think we should be all good, ready to go straight away. So I'll give it the countdown and then we'll start. So, okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you. Okay, so this game is Katamari Forever. It's sort of the fourth kind of main game in the series, the fourth console game. And this is kind of a tribute game. So it's a collection of mostly other levels from other games. So this level is actually from Beautiful Katamari, which is the Xbox game. This one, you've got to try and roll up hot objects, basically. So you can see on the top left, the temperature. So the goal is 10,000 degrees Celsius. You can kind of see that on the bottom. And so Haru is trying to roll up all these hot objects while avoiding cold objects. See, whenever you grab a cold object, that heat will kind of turn purple and you'll lose a bit of temperature. So you got to be careful of it. You can actually die if you're not careful quite easily. And so in this run, this is the run we're doing, by the way, probably should preface with this, is we're doing all categories. Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow.
So we're doing all categories, and so what that means is we're basically, in this game, you can't do kind of a speed run from a fresh copy. You need to actually beat the game first, or else the game doesn't let you leave levels early. So you'd finish the level straight away and then be stuck waiting for the timer. Most other Katamari games you can leave straight away, but this one doesn't let you. Which is a bit sad, but we have to run on New Game Plus, basically. So one fun part of that, though, is we have all these alternate modes to play and unlock. There's a few different ones. There's Endless, which just means there's no time limit. There's just the normal mode, but what we're going to use is mostly the drive mode. We won't always use it, but using drive mode, you just move really fast, pretty much. You move super fast, so it's obviously good for speedrunning. You're moving crazy fast. It's pretty good. The one thing, though, is Katamari is actually quite difficult to control. It might be hard to see watching if you've never played before, but you sort of control the game with a dual stick control scheme, which is quite unique, but it's a little tricky at first. And you'll actually see in this stage, and the reason why we're doing this stage and the one before first is actually because they're really difficult. And so normally you run them early so you can reset a lot if you need to. But here, Haru's got it. No, it's really tricky to get this climb up here because you're so fast. Yeah. So Haru's going to back up. Nice, good.
Yes.
So we've got these through. Haru's got to grab one more up here. And Haru basically has to do these tricky... Oh, nice jump. Okay, this should be easy. So one more jump into the middle. So you jump with just the R2 button, but it can be quite difficult because you don't have a lot of movement control. Okay, that should be it. Oh, a little too small. Yep, there you go.
Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow. So now we're going to be heading towards a tutorial. So with this tutorial, I'm going to explain the movement a bit more clearly. So Katamari uses dual sticks, so you only use really the left and the right stick to move, with the only exception being that you'll jump with R2. But otherwise, you're moving with the left and right stick. So if you put both sticks forward, you'll go forward, both sticks back, you go back, both sticks left, you go left, both sticks right, you go right, and anywhere in between those. But the one other thing, or the two other things you can do is if you have one stick up and the other down, then you'll turn the camera to the left or the right. So if you have left stick down and the right stick up, you'll turn left, and right stick down, left stick up, you turn right. So you turn basically whichever stick is down. And now, so that's really your main controls. You'll see in a pop-up on the sides where it says sort of going forward or directions to move around. And the one other control is actually that you can flip by pushing both the sticks down, like your L3 and R3. And basically controlling through these movements and moving around consistently is sort of what makes a good runner. And now, as well as that, you'll see all these objects that Haru's picking up affects the shape. So you see these puzzle pieces are sort of bouncing a bit as they hit that floor. Now, each of these objects will actually affect how you move. So one difficult thing about the game is you've sort of got this quite difficult movement to be very consistent on top of every single object.
Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow. But every single object will affect your movement. And so each of these objects are going to make actually quite a big impact on how you move around. And so the game kind of becomes quite inconsistent in a way that's actually quite fun. So because it's so inconsistent, you really need to just feel how the ball moves and really get it in your bones what's going on. So there's such a strong kind of gut feeling you'll build up in this game, as well as actually, which we can kind of explain on the next stage. Most stages in this game will kind of have the goal of make a star, and what that means is really you're trying to hit a certain size goal for the most part. So in most levels, you've got a certain size you need to hit. And so routes in this game are really just the fastest way to hit that size. And these can actually quite often change and develop over time. So the more runners you have in this game, the faster you improve on these kind of sets quite quickly. And so even new runners actually can sometimes come up with really creative and innovative ideas on how to do routes in this game. And the more runners we've found, the levels have improved so much quite quickly suddenly. It can be crazy how long we've been playing the game and then someone new comes in with a completely different idea that no one ever came up with, and it's just faster. But for the most part, it's mainly built on size breakpoints. So there'll be really important objects that you need to grab, and you need to be big enough for that object. So what we're doing here is Haru's trying to aim to be around 10.6 centimeters for this king chess piece up there. So Haru's pretty clean for that size, should be easy. And then using that, Haru's trying to get 15.3 to grab these pairs in this bowl. So Haru's a little too small, and now Haru's good. So Haru can grab those pairs. And it's all about really trying to hit those sizes. So everything you were doing earlier, you're paying attention to how big you're going to be. Am I going to be big enough by the time I get there? Because if you're there and you're too small, it's already too late. Often by the time you get to that object, if you're not big enough, you'll need to do quite a lot of extra movement to catch up from that. So really paying attention to your size and watching that is what makes sort of the Katamari route. And it's less about where you're going and more what objects you're grabbing. So these stages, a lot of these ones have either been from Beautiful Katamari or from Katamari Forever. This game, there was two original stages, the King Robot one where we kind of built him up, and the tutorial. The rest of these ones were from Beautiful Katamari, but now we're actually going to have a We Love Katamari stage. So this one's underwater. It's got a really great song, but a tricky part of this one is these fish cycles. So these fish move around on a fixed cycle, and if you're a little off the cycle, it can be hard to make up that size quickly and know, like, oh, I'm a little late, I need to actually instead grab these fish, or okay, the fish are going to be at this time here now. Oh, got a bit bumped out. But Haru's heading up to grab this heart. And I didn't actually mention these hearts earlier, but so what they do is they're a unique feature of this game. So whenever you grab the heart, all these objects will get pulled towards you, including that scuba cat there, if you can see it kind of there. Oh, the scuba's gone. Yeah, that scuba cat's fun. It's just a cat sitting in the water with a bunch of fishing rods. Oh, wearing a scuba diving hat. A scuba mask? I don't know what you call it. Uber goggles, that's the right word.
We got there.
Yeah, took a bit, but we're there.
Words are hard. Listen, words are very hard. There's so many items in this game.
Yeah, there's a lot. And some of them even have fun names. So like that fishing cat is actually named Tom. So it's Tom the fishing cat.
That's really cute.
Yeah. There's even some kind of fun things like, I think some people have theorized doing like an all names run where you just try and collect every unique named object. There is also all like complete collection runs of some of the other games. I don't think anyone's done it for this game yet, but it can be a real challenge. Like the first game was quite researched a bit, but the second game, like I think there's only one run done and it took 12 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And that's not including all of the long preparation to set up for that run. So it can be quite hard to do complete collection. But back to this run. This one is from Katamari Damacy. This is actually the first game, which is the game I run the most. So maybe I should have talked more in that stage on my specialty. But that's all right. This next stage, again, is also from We Love Katamari. So yeah, this game is just a collection of other games, really. There's a couple original stages, but it's mostly like it's just a collection. It's the greatest hits package, kind of. Pulling out loads of different areas, and it's got some like cool things, like different modes and like different art styles, actually. There's one that's pretty cool where everything starts gray, and when you grab objects, they start to show up in color. I always like that mode. I think it looks cool. But one thing I wanted to mention around here is that there's these pop-ups whenever you hit a certain size, and these are kind of your size breakpoints, so you're loading. And they're pretty important, actually, because they do a couple things. One, there's some where you need to like just press start, and you need to know which ones you'll have to press start for. I mean, if you press start on a random one, it's not that bad, but you'll lose a bit of time. So there, like the king pops up and the game freezes. And at those points, Haru is always skipping the cutscene to get ahead. And you'll see, Haru got a bit bumped. That's a bit unlucky. Those hills, you can actually get really crazy speed in this drive mode. You'll see another one here. But we didn't get too much speed there. But sometimes that's actually for the better, because that movement can be really tricky when you're speeding down that hill at lightning fast pace. It's really stunning when it actually goes through. I think on a later stage we might get to see that. It can be actually sometimes a problem if you go too fast. So maybe it's not bad that Haru bumped into that point. But anyway, those loading screens, another thing they do is they actually activate the cycles for some of the next areas. So like when you activate that loading zone, it'll run through and all these NPC cycles will start for the next area. And so you need to know what cycles are going to start when you reach what time, because say if you do the start really fast, you need to know that, okay, the NPCs are all going to be a little ahead of normal. So I need to know that, or else some of those NPCs that I want to roll up, I'm going to have to miss or skip or change my route to reach those faster. Or maybe there's NPCs that'll bump into you and send you flying away. And I need to know that I'm not going to get hit by that kangaroo there. Those kind of things, they do actually matter a lot. And it can be really hard to keep track of all of the cycles going through. Especially even some of the NPCs are connected. So if you hit one of them, it'll slow down another one. And it will pause that. So you need to know like, I'm going to hit this, then this other one will also be paused. So each of these interactions, you really need to be on top of your toes, knowing what's going to happen. But this stage is quite long, and we'll see this part a couple times. So we can use this part to read a couple donations here if you want.
Oh, absolutely. We have so many. I have a $10 donation from Jim Jam that says, very simply, Royal Rainbow. Thank you so much for your donation. I have a $25 donation from Cyberbot X. Roll this comment up in a Katamari and send it to the king of all cosmos so Harutomo gets some good luck on the run. Let's also get that bonus twist. level for GDQ to enhance, or GDQ, oh my gosh, Quake to enhanced rolled up as well. Oh my goodness, Nicole, words are hard. They are, of course, referring to the bonus twist level, which is at 7,243 out of 15,000. We are almost 50% at what we need for that bonus. So if you want to see those when you donate, go ahead and select that for your incentive.
Okay, probably got time for one more last donation.
Absolutely. I have $25 from Nth Anomaly. Good to see you back at HGDQ. My goodness. GDQ, Harutomo-san. Ganbatene, Royal Rainbow.
Oh, yeah,
I'm just adding letters where they don't belong. I'm taking letters out where they do belong. What's happening?
Happens to the best of us.
Oh my gosh, can we get a Katamari full of letters for me, please?
Well, yeah, sometimes it can be a bit like when you're playing through this game and you mess up one thing at the start and you kind of just, you'll go all over the place and get messed up. Which is actually a good segue into an interesting thing in this level is normally in the first game, so this is level from the first game, we can just grab these jams here, but they're actually just big in this game for some reason. They're huge. So we have to do this whole weird side route, walk all the way around, kind of grab these and go through this tunnel to grab the King's Heart. The King's Heart probably wouldn't even normally be worth it in this stage, but you're so small that you need to grab it. And even these eclairs here, which are normally shoe creams, these like cream puff balls, but they've swapped to eclairs for some reason. Those are also even bigger. So you need to change that whole route and add this whole side section to make up for it. And just the change of 1 to 2 object sizes, like only 2 objects are different, but the whole section there has to be completely changed to fit that 2 objects. And it's crazy how much of an impact they can make. But all right, here. Oh no! Oh. Okay, Haru's about to roll up these Gemba Nekos. They're actually a Japanese kind of meme. Yosh. So those are, they're called kind of like the on-site work cat. And basically, they're these cats that do kind of a pose with their thumb stuck up, kind of like a finger gun pose on the side, like a weird dance kind of gesture. And they have a lot of memes about work safety, and sometimes not just work safety, but just like different things like answering the phone. Actually, there's a lot of weird phone related memes and images. They're pretty funny. You could look up Gemba Neko if you're curious. But anyway, continuing on to the actual run. So here Haru's grabbing these fax machines, aiming to hit, a solid 3 meters for those. Grab the dragon. And here Haru's going to be kind of crossing the lake to head to the top area. Now, in the base game, or in Katamari Damacy, you can't jump and you have to do this awkward climb up this wall, or you kind of vault yourself up using that pole that Haru grabbed. But in this game, you kind of just do a little bounce up, which might even be more difficult than just vaulting yourself, because vaulting can get quite consistent once you get used to it. But the jump is a little more finicky, maybe. But here we should get an easy 12 meters to end. Now we've only got a couple, or really only 2 more little Maker Star stages, and then we'll be on to the second half of this game. This game is kind of split into 2 level sets. So there's one kind of on the right, and to be honest, I've forgotten the name of them both, but that's all right. I think there's the Robo King Memories and Robo King something else. But anyway, there's the 2 sets. These sets are all mostly the Maker Star levels, and we're going through those. So this is Maker Star 11, actually. And this is as large as possible from We Love Katamari. Now in this game, Haru's grabbing all these snowmen, grabbing this samurai armor, should be able to grab through. A little too small, so Haru did a little walk around instead of grabbing straight through the wall there. Now Haru's trying to get big enough for these tables. A little too small, so Haru's going to have to do a circle around and come back. Because those are huge, you can't really skip those. Now Haru can get all the boxes. And so sometimes, because Haru's moving so fast, it can be hard to see these important objects that you're aiming for. But you really need to know those and even know what size you are, because just like earlier, Haru had to sort of go forward and then come backwards and grab them, which adds a decent little bit of extra time. And the more you're, say if you're playing in a normal mode, like this mode's quite fast, so it's less punishing almost. But in the normal game, you move quite slowly even. So if you get that mistake, it can be really slow to just walk back. So most of the time, if you miss an object, you'll need to have a backup to something else you'll grab instead, because going back is just too slow. And in other times, like at that table, you just can't grab anything else. You just got to get that one object. So here we've really been trying to hit 12 meters, which Haru's at. And now you're just trying to get big enough for these huge round trees. And I know a lot of people love these big trees. They're pretty satisfying to roll up. And even in this game, you can actually get some really big, like the points where you suddenly increase your size drastically using these King's Hearts. So it's actually quite fun to use those in Speed 2. Now we're heading to the city. There's King Kong there randomly. I don't actually think King Kong is in the original version of this. I might be wrong. Someone's going to get mad at me in the Katamari community later when they find out that I just lied to everyone on stage.
Can't believe you've done this.
But that's all right. It's fun to lie. Anyway. So here Haru's rolling up these walls, and they're interesting because you can see they kind of bounce you around as well. So these kind of objects, when you grab them, they really distort your shape. So these long, pointy objects, they start to bounce you around and vault you. And so if you're not careful, you'll actually just start to bounce over the other objects and miss what you're trying to grab. So it can be quite tricky, especially, say, Haru's trying to grab these islands in there. Okay, Haru's got them. But those are hard to get. You need to come in just a little spot to get inside. And if you miss it, it's quite tricky to come back in and grab it. And they're really flat on the floor, so you can easily bounce over some of the islands. But here we should be at a solid 1,000 meters, so we're able to finish that level. And now we've got one more normal maker level, but this one, instead of being Make a Star, we're going to make the moon. So this is the final stage in the first game. It's just a random stage in the middle in this game. This stage is it's sort of changed a lot and not changed much at all. Casually, I don't think you'd notice any of the changes, but as a speedrunner, it's very obvious. Here, we're going to watch. Haru's going to be quite careful. Okay, nice. Yeah, that spot there at the start, it's actually very punishing to fall. If you fall at that start, it's really hard to make up those sizes from those peaches and couple things. So falling is maybe one of the worst things you can do at the start of this level. Outside of some levels where you can just die and you need to... Basically, you just need to watch through a long cutscene of the king just getting mad at you and telling you you're a failure. So if you don't have to deal with any of that, outside of that, falling off moon is one of the worst things that can happen to you in a run. Especially in the first game. In this game, there's much worse things that can happen. But luckily, we're moving through pretty good. Normally, this pachinko climb is really rough, but we can just jump over it, so it's not that bad. Luckily, though, maybe it was good that we fell, because that train might have just knocked us back down if we were a little too fast. So sometimes those mistakes can save you a little bit. Or maybe Haru was just completely aware of the train cycle and moving ahead of my brain. But these NPCs are also moving at double speed in this mode, so it may actually... Oh, Haru got bumped off by the boulder. Oh, in the building. Yeah. Nice, okay, Haru's got it. Yep, okay. Oh, a little too small. But also, when you get knocked around, you do actually lose your size too. So here Haru lost just a touch size, and actually I thought they would be big enough, but it seems the train's slightly bigger in this game, I think. Or maybe I'm just doing my calculation wrong, actually. But anyway, Haru's should be big enough to keep going now. Head down through, grab these mushrooms. We've got to skip that text, climb over here. And so Haru's a little small here. It's probably going to take a bit longer to grab these buildings. So normally you grab these kind of holes at the top. There, Haru missed them. But it's okay. Haru's going to be fine if they keep going. You can roll up all these trees. Nice roll. Grab that to make it up. And this is actually the famous game. No, they didn't do the game show. Oh, but that's right. Another runner came up with a sort of jump in that spot in the first game. It's a pretty crazy jump. It'd be cool to look up maybe if there's a video on YouTube. But anyway, in this game we can just jump over. Otherwise you have to walk all the way around. Here we can just walk through across to the other side, aiming around 90 centimeters to get through the middle. Yep. Nice. So Haru's just speeding through here. Using that King's Heart to grab all those buildings that can be otherwise quite tricky to get all of them. Ah, I fell down. That's okay. Not too bad. Especially in drive mode, you move so fast that it's not super punishing. So watching through this, nice, good move through that. That can be quite tricky. Okay, speeding straight through the islands. Oh, little bumps, yeah. So that's also an example of when your geometry gets a bit mixed up. So grabbing that boat got locked under the other object and collided with it, so Haru couldn't keep moving forward. Haru's a little small, but should be able to finish off quickly. Might take a little bit of spinning around. Nice. Okay, so now we've done all the first half. Now we're heading to the second half of the game. So the next level is actually the second last unique level from this game. This is called Water, the water level. So this level, you've got a water Katamari. It's completely unique, not really in any other game. And you're a ball of water and you need to fill up the ground. Oh, Haru hit a tree. And those trees are a bit brutal. If you hit one of those trees, they can really send you knocked around. Nice dodges, didn't hit any of those ones. And so your goal here is kind of to move around. Oh, good tap on that tree though. Didn't get knocked much. So trying to kind of move through here, avoid the NPCs, avoid the trees as well, and cover this ground with grass. You don't need to fully do it, but should be pretty good with about here to finish off. A little more. Haru's kind of aiming for around the second time should be towards 20%. Yeah, I think that might have been a bit extra to be safe, but should be good. So now we're heading over to the race stage. Oh, so this one's interesting. This is actually where drive mode originally comes from. But in this game, we're not going to select drive mode because it actually kind of stacks with the normal drive mode. So in this version, there's kind of a normal drive mode. It makes you move twice as fast and you're speeding through. And here you actually can't stop moving. You can't stop. You just have to keep going. You're a car. Cars can't stop on a dime, so you can't stop on a dime. You're just moving through, you're speeding through. And so, I got a bit knocked around. That's okay. Should be still a little too small. And here you can kind of see if you get messed up a bit, it's really tricky to move back around because you can't stop and turn. You just gotta keep going forward. Now, we thought about trying to do this stage in the drive mode in this game, but you just move so fast that you can't control anything. It's just lightning fast. So we still use just the normal mode, which is still crazy fast and difficult, so it's fine. But Haru should be heading through here, so you can't flip here, so Haru's going to be kind of walking into these walls, trying to turn their camera, set themselves up. So doing a little turn, and then ready to keep going.
We have time for a couple quick donations?
Yep, should be actually... I was going to aim to do it in a couple levels, but we could run it here. Yeah, let's do some donations
sure.
now.
Awesome. We have $25 from the king of all cosmos. What's this? So many impressive Katamaris. We have never seen so many so fast. We are inspired. Keep on rolling and Royal Rainbow. And I also have $100 from the Sound Defense. Go Harutomo-san. Katamari is such a fun and relaxing game for me, and it's wild to see Harutomo vacuuming up objects as quickly as they are. Good luck and Royal Rainbow. And I also have a $50 donation from Zaramisu and a $10 donation from The Magic Man that both say Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow.
Actually, even if we really want to run through a bunch, we could actually use this stage for a couple donations too.
Oh, sure, absolutely. And chat, if you want to join in on a fun little donation train, if you want to send $7, as there are 7 colors in the rainbow for Roy G. Biv, I have a $25 donation from Snargle Fargan. It says, if you want to guess what it says, you can join along with me, Royal Rainbow.
Yeah, Royal
I have a $20 donation from Shiny that says, Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow.
Thank you so
Rainbow.
much for your donations. I have $10 from Almatari. We love Katamari, less than 3. Thank you so much. Powdered Milkman with $25 says, na 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 na. This game was like I played this so much when I was younger, so it's really fun to see these all coming through. I have $25 from Nick the Sushi that says Katamari and GDQ forever. Let's roll up the donations for Doctors Without Borders. And chat, audience, we are now at 75.29 out of 15,000. We are 50% into the bonus twists level for Quake 2 Enhanced. Again, if you want to see that when you donate, make sure you select that as your incentive.
All right, so here we want to make sure we watch. You ready? Oh, there's no Royal Rainbow, actually. I mixed it up. Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. Okay. But okay. I'll mention now we're heading into the sweet stage. So we're on the next half of the levels. This one's kind of interesting, actually, in that you've got a goal that shows up in the top left corner. So our goal is to collect as many sweets as possible for little Hansel and Gretel. And so we see this goal, and you can see the size going up here. We don't care about the goal. All we care about here is hitting 1 meter and 30 centimeters. Oh no, the witch got us. To roll up these kids, because that's the only way to end.
Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow.
Okay, so that one we finished up. So sometimes these goals can be a little misleading for what we actually care about in the speedrun. Like there's something that you're aiming to do, but really we're aiming for the size goal more than anything usually. This next level though is actually just a speedrun stage. It's as fast as possible. So the king is gonna come help a kid who needs his room rolled up. Or like to clean up his room, basically. The goal is to clean this kid's room. And so it's actually kind of difficult. We're going to be moving quite fast. Haru's got to hit a jump onto a box to grab this heart. We'll see if Haru can get it in one go or if it'll take a couple. But we'll be grabbing this heart. And then you really need to pay attention to the amount of objects remaining by the time you finish the floor. Because if you're missing one, it's going to take... I got bumped a bit. Good jump, though. Good jump. Nice. Didn't lose much time. So heading through, grabbing these, and really trying to get big enough to grab these train tracks. Nice. Haru's big enough. Should be a quick roll-up. They're not there yet. 17. Haru's going to be... Yep, 6. So Haru's good here. Nice. Good end.
Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow.
All right. So, this next stage is actually infamous for being really difficult. So this is the cow bear stage. Now, these are in a lot of the Katamari games. Now, these ones you need to grab the biggest cow or bear possible. And the goal really is the cow bear, which is a cow bear. I mean, as the name implies. And you're aiming for this massive cow bear while dodging all these tiny ones on the floor, which can be anything from like a cone to a vending machine that sells milk, counts as a cow too. And so because we're moving at drive mode, it's going to be crazy hard to dodge all these objects. So it's quite a difficult stage, as you can imagine, like trying to avoid rolling up all these tiny objects. Luckily, though, we actually don't care about that.
Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow. Also, Blue Cheetah with $25 also says Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow.
So, we don't actually care about grabbing the biggest object. Whatever is the smallest possible will let us pass and keep moving. So we just grab the tiniest thing, which makes that stage so much easier, as you can imagine. It's really annoying otherwise. And even running like some of these complete collection runs where you have to do those objects, they can often be the biggest time loss when learning to try and make sure you get it in one go. Because if you hit any other tiny cow, you got to rerun that level. And it can be annoying if you get stuck doing the level 10 attempts or something, failing over and over. But here we're heading into the Firefly stage. So we're helping this kid who wants to study, but it's too dark. So we're going to roll up a bunch of fireflies and aim to hit actually 1 meter and 50 centimeters, which will make a bright enough light so he can study at night. So we're going to help him succeed in his education. So sometimes people can look at this game and think, oh, you're rolling up all these people, like, that's not very nice. But actually, we're doing a lot of good things. And even all the people rolled up are usually quite happy.
We are the rainbow.
Royal Rainbow.
And Tartu with 2777 also says Royal Rainbow. Thank you.
Nice, perfect. They were ready for it. But actually, that's a weirdly lore accurate thing, is that in the lore, apparently people like to be rolled up into the Katamari, and it's a pleasant feeling. It's sort of like a oneness with the ball. But here we'll be coming into the sumo stage. This is actually one of my favorites, just for the design of it. So normally you're pushing the Katamari, which in Japanese actually means clump. You're just pushing this clump and rolling that around and grabbing all these objects. This one, we replace the Katamari with a sumo wrestler. We've got a sumo wrestler that's trying to get big and strong to win the fight. He's too small now. Like, this is a tiny sumo. He's never going to win the fight. So we're going to roll up a bunch of objects. It's going to stick to him. And as we keep rolling up more, they're going to leave that top layer, that outer layer, and they'll be absorbed into the Katamari. So that sumo will grow in size. And actually, every object you grab kind of works in a similar manner to this. So you've got an outer layer of the objects you roll up, and an inner layer of the objects kind of absorbed into your Katamari to save memory space. Now, as long as you don't get really squeezed, which is when you're squashed between two objects, you can't lose all of those objects. So if you're this big, like, you can bounce and get bonked and objects will fly off, but as long as you have absorbed them into your Katamari, you'll keep them. And one interesting fact is also, as the sumo kind of rolls up stuff, he says like gochon desu, which is like gochiso sama deshita, or like thank you for the food, but in like a sumo style. A lot of people always wonder what he kind of says, and it's hard to hear it if you don't know any Japanese, and even if you do, it can be a little tricky. So Haru should be big enough to take the fight if Haru can get over there. Little bigger, trying to aim for... Yep, there we go. So just a bit more to get a good bounce out. So now aiming to push out. You should... Oh, got a makikomi. So full roll up. So when you push them out, they can say a couple of different things, like oshidashi or makikomi.
Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow.
My Hero Zero with $5, Royal, and might I add, Rainbow. Thank you so much.
Man, they seem to all know what to say. I don't know.
Yeah, they really are on top of this.
I don't know. Someone must have sent like a message around or something. Like, how did they know this?
I have no idea. It's beyond me.
Yeah. Was there a Twitter post? Was there?
Maybe.
Well, anyway, moving on. There's the next stage is actually a beautiful Katamari one too. This one we're like, it can kind of show you how explosively, like your size, or you can just launch up at the end. This one you're aiming to hit the goal of hitting, like, I think you're spending 100,000 yen. You're aiming to spend 100,000 yen in a grocery store. 300,000 yen, sorry. So what we're going to do is we just roll up a bunch of stuff on the way. We're going to roll over, head to grab a bunch of fruits, different small things on the way. And we're heading to be big enough to head to some shelves. Because obviously, like, there's some stuff laid around on the floor, but the shelves, those are packed with stuff. Because this staff is doing their job. So we're grabbing this, and we should be able to grab, yep, nice, got them. And it should be instant to finish here, pretty much. Heading through, and done. Oh, get a jump. Nice.
Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow.
So, yeah, a lot of those stages are like the goal is to get, say, to spend 300,000 yen. But really, as a speedrunner, kind of a lot of it is thinking about, okay, to get that goal, what I need to do is I need to get big enough to grab a lot of objects, or to grab a lot of big objects, or to grab a lot of expensive objects in that case. And that can be a combination of working out where is the most densely packed areas and where is the most like optimal objects. So some objects are more efficient and can be a bigger breakpoint of being useful. And other ones are just not really worth the effort to go out of your way to roll up a ton of tiny nothings. But this level is actually pretty interesting. This next level is the school. Actually, I got completely wrong. I thought the next level was the campfire. This level is a little less interesting. It's still kind of cool. So you're rolling through the school, grabbing all these kids, and right at the intro of this level, there's these doors. And so whenever you walk through those doors, you'll be transported to another section of the school. And basically, there's no way in or out of the school. It's just a looping, infinite school. But the school is only like 2 hallways, and each of those hallways are just filled with like 3 classrooms and like some bathrooms or staff rooms, those kind of things. And here our goal is just to roll up all of the 100 students. And so Haru should be able to just about get this end here. A little too small, so who's Haru missing? Got 1 there, 2 there, and where's the last one? So that can be a difficult part there, okay. Because these kids are so tiny and they run around.
Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow. So because those kids can kind of run around, it can be hard to keep track of where they are, and you can kind of get mixed up and pretty easily miss one if you're not careful. Because as you run into other kids, they start to get nervous and they'll start to panic and run into all of erratic positions. So it's actually quite difficult to not miss any there. But this next level is the one that I thought we were coming into. This one is quite interesting. This is the campfire level. Now, there's 2 rules in this one there's one rule really, that's don't let your fire go out. And so your Katamari is on fire, your campfire Katamari, I guess. So you're aiming to set the fire for the camp. And what you're going to do is you need to roll up stuff to keep your campfire active, and you're aiming to hit 3 meters before your fire runs out. So, and before the timer runs out. So we don't have to worry about the timer because Haru's going to be way faster than that. But every object you grab is going to keep your fire active and see that fire grows a bit bigger. If you don't grab any objects in a short period, your fire will just extinguish and you'll die. That's not really a problem for Haru. Haru's not going to have any problem grabbing objects. The one thing Haru's going to have to be careful of is water. Okay, safe. So walking through these edges, it can be quite scary that if you take one small step, you're going to fall in that water and get very heavily punished. So bonking on that NPC, but hopefully not bonking too hard to get sent flying into the water. And we're going to have to do a jump over here. And Haru's to hope that they don't jump slightly off and hit like a bad piece of geometry and fall in the hole. But no, Haru's good. So easy through. Haru should be able to grab this heart and should be ready for an easy finish as long as they can make it back to the top of the mountain and hit that. Nice, good end.
Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow. So the next 2 stages are quite short, kind of quick stages where you're just instantly finishing them. So you're just going to grab 50 objects and you're going to roll a snowman up, but we don't care about the size, so we just run straight into the middle and call it done. So we might use these to do some quick donations.
Absolutely. I have $50 from Shuki. Big shout outs to the Katamari speedrun community for being incredible. Thanks to Haru, Enzor, and Shamana for getting me into the speedrun during their We Love Katamari run, and everyone else for being welcoming and helpful for learning. I never thought I'd find such a great group of friends. Royal Rainbow, and then a little rainbow emoji. Thank you so much for your donation.
Nice, thanks.
I also have $7 from Tomo, Royal Rainbow. How about we get donations where everyone says their favorite Katamari cousin? I've always been a fan of the cow print cousin, Daisy. Thank you so much for your donation. The cousins are really, really cute. And I have $25 from Madame Toadstool. Had to donate during the Katamari Forever run as it's one of my favorite games of all time. I've been a fan of GDQ for over a decade, and this is the second time I've watched after having a newborn. I also became a nurse after watching SGDQ benefiting Doctors Without Borders in 2022. GDQ has been a part of so many milestones of my life, and I'm so grateful for the amazing work you do. Royal Rainbow. Thank you so much for your donation. That's really sweet.
Royal Rainbow. Yeah, actually, quickly mentioning on the cousins. So what would you, in this game, because it's a new game plus run, actually, Haru's going to have all the cousins unlocked, and they can actually pick whatever they want and wear costumes and stuff. So Haru's actually using miso, which is like, basically their head is like a bowl of miso soup. And they're a pretty fan favorite cousin. And Haru's also wearing like a rainbow, like headphones kind of pretty much. So you can see that on the top of their head. And so they're fit wearing the like royal rainbow fit, ready for the show.
We're so ready.
We can keep doing donations in this level.
Absolutely. I have $25 from Minnie. Hello from London, UK, donating for one of my favorite games of all time, Katamari Forever, just after completing my first ever volunteer shift with GDQ. I'm so proud to be involved in such an amazing event with such wonderful people. Shout out to everyone behind the scenes making this happen, to chat, and of course, to our runners. Now back to that Katamari. Analyzing size. Analyzing composition. Looks like it is an SGDQ Katamari with extra hype. Robo Rainbow away. Thank you for your donation. We are at $344,477 raised for Doctors Without Borders. Thank you all so much for donating your time, your runs, everything you've been doing. We are also at 8,177 out of 15,000 for the bonus levels for Quake 2 Enhanced. We are 54% through. Let's get that met.
Yeah, I'm hyped for that.
Me too.
I really want to see that. But all right, this next set there's going to be a set of 3 stages quickly, which have kind of a unique mechanic. These ones they're called like the exact stages, where the goal is to hit, say, some set goal exactly. So this is 20 centimeters. Now you can't see your size, and so you don't know how big you are. So what we're going to do is Haru's keeping track of what they're grabbing, knowing around what size they're up to. So they're going to aim to grab this, head over and grab these kind of cassettes. Grabbed one there, or just strawberries.
Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow.
Batman with $25 says Rainbow Royale. Wait a minute, hold on.
Oh, wait, huh?
Hold on, huh?
I think the message must have got flipped. Must be an message. It must be an error in communication. That's right. But yeah, so there's 2 more of these stages. You actually have to be quite careful though. So you want to do it as quickly as possible, obviously, because it's a speed run. But if you mess it up a little and go too small or too big, you fail the stage, and the king is going to berate you for, like, you'll lose a couple minutes of the king berating you. It's pretty brutal. So Haru is going to play it somewhere between safe and fast, pretty much as fast as you can do while not being right at the edge line where you think you're going to die. But you know as pretty confidently around how big you need to be. So here Haru's going to aim to get some of the stuff here and then grab the king's heart, and a bunch of stuff should fly towards them, and it should be a pretty safe end.
Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow. And so there's one more of these, and it's the same thing. So if we want, we could do a couple donations in this one too.
Absolutely. I have $50 from Sergol. Had to donate finding out there was a Quake 2 run on the schedule, one of the first games I remembered playing online. The remaster is excellent as usual when Night Dive is involved. Let's see that bonus level. Thank you so much. Neo Zero donates $25. They say Royal Rainbow. Thank you so much. And Anonymous donates $100. Love GDQ every year. Keep it up. We will. Thank you so much.
Nice. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, I love all the Night Dive remasters. I'm a big fan of their work. But back to the topic at hand, I guess. This is an original stage in this game. This is one of the last original stage. This is the Dream stage. Well, actually, no. That's the next one. So I forgot we have this one as well. Instantly done.
Royal Rainbow.
Royal Rainbow. Yeah, so that's the last of our exact ones. Now we're heading to the King's Dream. So it's kind of it's a weird looking stage. It's basically a bunch of stuff in little balls, and this is actually just the stuff inside of the King's Dream. The funny thing is, though, if you like look at what objects are in the King's Dream, it's all like food and toys and like nothing else. It's just basically he's just dreaming about food constantly. That's all he dreams of. So I don't know, try and look at what objects are in there, think about that's his dream, and have a fun time. But otherwise, we're aiming to hit 300 items. So what Haru's going to be doing is rolling around, grabbing stuff, and jumping up and trying to grab these big objects. The big objects aren't necessarily worth a lot more, but what they will do is they'll get your shape wider and bigger, so you can roll through these faster. So the shape and size is really just to help you roll other stuff quicker in this one. But other than that, I enjoy the stage. We can do a couple donations.
Absolutely. I have a $9.25 donation from Katamari Kako. So happy to see Chibi Robo and Katamari back-to-back at GDQ. These games were so influential to me in becoming a professional game developer. It's amazing to see they keep inspiring folks to this day. To all the aspiring game devs and speedrunners, it's never been a better time to make your dreams come true. Thank you so much for that donation.
Yeah, I'm a bit sad I didn't get to properly watch the Chibi Robo run because it was just before, so I'll have to check the VOD of that after. That was one I was excited for, actually. I really love Chibi Robo, even though I've never played it.
It's really cute.
Yeah, it's so cute. And it's like, I don't know, it's just really unique and a fun game. It's kind of similar to this in that it's that sort of kind of famous niche in a way. It's a hit niche game, and there's no Royal Rainbow here.
No Royal Rainbow.
No.
Very upsetting.
But here we're going to be coming into the last stage. So this one is actually the biggest stage in any Katamari game. We're going to hit like 10,000 kilometers, and then we're going to go to space. And we're going to be rolling. Actually, is it 10,000 when you hit space? Somewhere around there. But we're going to be heading into space. And we're going to be aiming to wake up the king. So we've been working with the Robo King for a lot of this. And the first set of levels were also the dreams of the king. That's it. Now I remember. And so now we're going to be kind of working through and finishing up his last dream and waking him up. So, and here we actually have a song from... He's like a really big singer in Japan. He's super famous, called Shigeru Matsuzaki-san. And so he's pretty famous for his like tanned skin. And he's just a very famous singer in Japan. He does a couple other songs in the Katamari games. But so what we're going to use is we can listen to this song and we can run a couple donations before we reach the Earth, but we'll have a moment. But we can use a couple and just listen to the music, enjoy it, run some donations.
Absolutely, thank you. Deme donates $7. When you donate every Katamari run at GDQ, that's a loyal rainbow. Thank you for your donation. Procrastination says $5. Giant King in the Sky. I can roll twice as high. Look and see Katamari, a royal rainbow. I would have sang that, but you're welcome for not, chat. Very cute donation. Thank you so much. Miller Queen donates $10, and they say, Royal Rainbow. Thank you so much for your donations. We are now at 344,669 raised for Doctors Without Borders. Thank you all again so much, and at 54% for that bonus twists level in Quake 2 Enhanced.
So what we're going to watch for is Haru's going to continue to roll until they reach around 1,000 kilometers, and then they'll be rolling up the countries on the Earth. Oh, Haru's heading up, so you can see zoning out, heading towards that. So we can run probably one or two more donations, and then what I want everyone to watch for is you can watch for the moment Haru rolls up America and have some sort of cheer, some sort of hype.
Absolutely. I have $100 from Party Cat. Gotta keep donating for more GDQ. Always happy to support an event that brings all the good vibes and entertaining runs. Thanks to all the staff and runners. Let's go. Thank you for your donation. Hadfoot donates $9.25. Can't help but donate for such obvious passion. I love GDQ because it brings together such amazing people for such a good cause. Let's keep it rolling. A, I see what you did there. B, thank you so much for your donation.
Okay, we should be heading pretty close now. So there's South America there. You can see here should be Asia. There's Japan. And now heading towards America should be around 7,000. That should be it. There's America.
Yay.
And there's Australia too.
Yay.
And so now we're in space, ready to finish off. So quickly, I'd like to just thank everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I want to give a quick shout out to a couple people. Shout out to Grass, to Doomwacky, to Shamana, to Gameit, to Conro91, to Sisika, to Serudan Blue, to Anibin Nentalamonto, and Royal Rainbow.
Rainbow.
Oh, and in time.
Time.
GG.
GG's.
GG.
But thank you for watching, everyone. And Haru, did you want to say one last thing, please?
Thank you for watching. Royal Rainbow forever. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.